We're in a 2021 Toyota 4RUNNER. We're going to do a plug-and-play remote starter that activates from the OEM Remote. We're going to get started with a disassembly. We're going to use a pick tool to open this flap. This will expose a 10 millimeter. We're going to go ahead, we're going to remove the 10 millimeter. On this side we have another 10 millimeter under the kick panel plastic here. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to pop this out for now so we can get on that 10 millimeter. So with this popped out, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to be very careful not to drop this screw down in the kick panel, and we're going to remove the 10 millimeter. At this point we're going to go ahead and we're going to release this hood cable mechanism. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to open this. We're going to use our pick tool. There's a little piece here we're going to pull down that will allow us to slide this assembly off. So we've lifted it up and we've just pushed this back and we've unclipped this piece, and I'll show you a close-up of the clip. We're going to remove this trim cover. You go ahead and grab it, pull out on it. At this point we're going to remove the lower dash. Just going to wiggle as we pull out. If we have a stubborn clip, we'll use our plastic tool. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to unplug the switches on the dash. Now with this hood release that we removed, we can go ahead, we can pull it out, turn it, and release the cable. So this is the clip that we pushed down to slide this out. We actually release the cable and the end from the hood release. If you want, you can leave this connected and just lay it down on the floor. I prefer to move it completely out of the vehicle. We're going to remove the steering column cover plastic. We're going to turn the ignition on to unlock the steering wheel. We're going to go ahead, we're going to turn the wheel to expose a Phillips screw on the face of the cover plastic. Going to remove that Phillips. We're going to do the opposite side. Going to recenter the wheel, and we're going to shut the ignition to the vehicle off. Going to unclip the cover plastic by applying pressure to the side while lifting up on the top to release the plastic. So we're going to use our tool, created a small gap. We're going to go ahead and we're going to separate the steering column cover plastic. Again, we can apply pressure on this side to the seam, and we're going to remove the cover plastic. Our T-harness is going to plug into two locations. We're going to plug into the steering lock mechanism, and we're going to plug into the BCM. We're going to unplug the steering lock plug located right here. It's a clip on the face. We're going to push the clip in while we unplug the plug. We're going to plug our end from the T-harness into the steering lock mechanism, and then we're going to plug the plug that we removed from the steering lock mechanism into the other side of our T-harness. Now we're going to route our T-harness BCM plug end over to the BCM. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to unplug our BCM plug, located right here. I will give you a close-up. We're going to plug our T-harness plug into the BCM. Make sure it locks in. And then we're going to plug the plug from the vehicle that we removed from the BCM into our BCM connector on our T-harness. And again, we're going to make sure the plug clicks and locks. At this point, we can plug in our EVO module. There is a push button on the top of the EVO. We're going to locate the push button and our EVO harnesses. We're going to hold down the push button while we plug in the 4-pin data plug. We do this, these lights are going to begin to cycle. We're going to want to release on the first light that lights up, which is a blue light. When we release the button, the light will stay blue. We're holding the button with our thumb, plugging in. Blue light's on, we let go of the button. If we make a mistake, we don't let go right away. If you let it cycle through the colors, it will come back to solid blue. We can release on the second time it turns blue. We release on another color, remove the 4-pin and redo the procedure. Release on blue. Going to be very careful not to touch the button again while we plug in the remaining connectors. We'll start with our 20-pin. Backside, we'll do the red and the white. Our light should remain blue. At this point, we're going to turn the ignition to the vehicle on. We're not going to start the vehicle, we're just going to turn the ignition on. So we will be required to have a fob in the car. We're going to press the push to start button 2 times without holding the brake pedal. So we're over here on the push to start. You can see my finger there on the side of the screen. Once, twice. Blue light will go out. It will come back on and flash rapidly when the device programs. The rapid flash of the blue light is indication that the module has programmed. We'll now shut the ignition to the vehicle off by pressing the push to start button. Our system is ready to test. Now at this point, I want to verify that the hood is closed. We opened it when we pulled the hood release cable. So we have the hood closed now, we can perform our test. We're going to trigger remote starting by locking the doors 3 times. If the device blinks the parking lights, it fails to start, you have the remote start safety switch override in the on position. The switch is on the T-harness that we've just installed. We're going to switch the switch to the opposite position and test remote starting. We're going to test remote starting by locking the doors 3 times. Our vehicle is remote started and will run for 15 minutes. If we don't go out, the vehicle will shut itself down. If we decide we do not want to use the vehicle, we can turn off the remote starter by locking the doors 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start the vehicle again. When entering the vehicle, we will walk up to the vehicle, touch the handle to unlock the door. Upon opening the door, the engine will shut down. This will happen on all Toyota push-to-start vehicles. You will now get in the vehicle, restart the engine, and drive away. We're outside of our vehicle. We're going to activate remote starting. Shut the remotely started engine off. Repeat the 3 lock presses. We're back in our vehicle. We're going to add the MyCar smartphone controller to our device. If you buy this system as a kit, the MyCar will come plugged in. If you're adding the MyCar, there are some programming steps you will have to take. I'm not going to go into the programming of the device as I have other videos that will show you this. To connect the MyCar, we're going to plug our coupler end into the accessory plug banded up on our T-harness. We're going to go ahead and we're going to plug our 4-pin plug in. When we do this, our MyCar is going to turn on. The red light indicates GPS signal, while the green light indicates cellular signal. While the lights are blinking, it means it's searching for the signals. We're going to go ahead, we're going to wait until our green light comes on constant, which is a cellular signal. We can then do cellular functions. When the red light lights solid, the GPS will be locked as well. Our cellular signal is locked. We're going to begin testing. The GPS signal may not lock while we're inside our installation bay. We're outside the vehicle with the MyCar running. We're going to go ahead and we're going to send a lock command. We're going to send an unlock command. We're going to lock the doors again. Now notice we're getting a confirmation on each command sent. We have the temperature of the vehicle displayed. We have the signal strength and the battery voltage also. We're going to go ahead and start the vehicle. Okay, we're going to get our runtime report back. We have this unit set to run for 45 minutes. We have our runtime confirmation. We have our unit set to run for 20 minutes. We're going to go ahead, we're going to shut the engine off. At this point, we're ready to reassemble our vehicle. To show you my zip-up location for my module, I have it right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mount the remote start override switch or the safety switch. Now the MyCar, I'm going to show you a little spot. So you can take this piece right off. A little bit hard with one hand. So this unsnaps with clips. I have the MyCar mounted with the correct side facing down right up here on the top here. So you can see the MyCar stick right here. I have one of the jumbo zip ties wrapped around the top, and that's a pretty good spot for the MyCar. It's out of the way. It's kind of a little shelf, so it fits there perfect.